Welcome to the realm of the mad god, undead lair guide. We're going to be looking at one of the three spookier dungeons I meant, with really cool animation. I remember seeing that. The undead lair. And that's this key with little Septavius. So that's what an average map will look like. Wait, I didn't know there could be two treasure rooms. So yeah, I'm actually learning the same stuff as you. These are some old random screenshots, which I think looks really different from the old one. That's the treasure room, which I think is actually harder than most treasure rooms. Because there's so many shots, it's hard to dodge. Now we're going to be talking about the enemies, and trust me, there's a lot of them. We're going to save the worst for first. Firstly, the black slimes. And trust me, they will ruin your life. The big one has 300 HP, 0 defense, and 100 XP. Also shoots a bullet. Also he shoots a bullet that does 100 damage. And when you kill him, he turns into these little chunguses, which has a black bullet that does 80 damage. Now we're gonna move on to Satan's little pets, the Lair black slimes. They usually have 50 HP and you can kill them in 2 seconds. But trust me, they're the most annoying things in the world. Think about like 10,000 of them, well not 10,000, but a lot of them shooting 50 damage a bullet to you. Trust me, you're not gonna like that at all. Oh, and you thought the black slime was bad enough. Well, the brown slime is gonna ruin your life. They each got 300 HP each and 0 defense. They also have another bullet that does 100 damage. And then they skip to the little brown slimes. Now trust me, you're not gonna like this. Now trust me, this is Satan's puppy dog. They each have 150 HP, which is weird because the other one had 100. And they each do 50 damage as a free shot, which means if you have no defense and you get hit by this, you're taking 150 damage. Now you're probably thinking, well, it's not much. But he turns it to like 8 of them. And 8 times 50, what's 8 times 50? Come on, let's go back to like 4th grade. That does like 8, no, like... Okay, hold on a sec. Let me do some calculating. 400 damage. Actually, didn't take long for me. I just did a little strategy. If you want some maths, you can just leave it in the comments. So yeah, they can do a lot of damage. And if you want more information, like watch Tower's video. This is like the newer one, and it's a bit different. But Tower will give you the information you need. These are the Lair blast traps, and they are pretty annoying. But trust me, later in the video, these are gonna look like getting hugged by a teddy bear. It says HP, NA, and D, and Def is NA. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. So yeah, I think shots do 100 damage. Now I think also, let me get some more information for you. So what these guys do is they shoot 8 damage towards you. So that means if you have no HP, walk right over once, you'll be taking 800 damage. Now you better pray you'll be like Fane Training or something, because this easily can wipe out most characters. It's the Lair Blue Specter. Ooh, they have 300 damage. And I'm at 300 HP and 75 XP. Ooh, no defense. Ooh, they have a 70 damage grenade that slows you for 2 seconds. And ooh, 100 damage. Like, thing. And now look at the Lair Boomerang trap. And here's something you need to know. The blast traps all just have a square on it. The boomerang traps have like these 2 lines that look like boomerangs on it, and the burst traps, which we'll get to soon, has a circle on it. So let's see the boomerang trap. HP and Def NA. And these guys have a bunch of piercing 100 damage bullets. And the interesting thing is, and they're in a circular pattern, which means they can do even more damage than sometimes if you stand still on these, they can even do more damage than the blast traps. Because what happens is they can not only that pierce you, they'll boomerang back and hit you twice. They can easily wipe out just about any character in the game. I think the only thing they can't wipe out is some kind of maxed out knight. Unless you do something like a maxed out knight, you can say your prayers. This is like a beginner dungeon, so that's pretty weird. Now look at the Lair Brown Bat, which is pretty annoying. It says 200 HP and 50 XP, and they have a 50 damage bullet. Now look at the Lair Burst Trap. And trust me, this is even worse than just about everything I showed you. They have the classic 100 damage, but here's the thing about them. They do in a big circle, which means they will just instantly wipe you out. And I think they have like 12 shots. So 12 times 100 equals 1,200 damage. I'm pretty sure they have 12 shots. I don't know. I watched Hal's video. But if it does, you're taking 12,000 damage. Well, of course, your defense will decrease a substantial amount of dose. So yeah. Next. Now I got the constructs, which are very, very annoying. Who got 700 HP, 20 defense, and 150 XP. They got a classic 80 damage bullet, but they also got a star, and you want to avoid this because it confuses you for 2 seconds. Confused. It's always got to be confused. And to be honest, I'm actually not like that. I feel like too intimidated by confused because I'm pretty good at confused control. In fact, I'm definitely soon going to make a confused control guide. And let me give you a tip right now before it comes out. Whatever like the key will be, it will always be in the same position, but but forward by clockwise. Like W will be like A would be S. No, you get my point. Just go in a one in a clockwise area, and that will like be the key, like in a counterclockwise pattern behind. You get my point. I'll make a good guide on it. Now we got the Hairy Larry Constructor Giant Titan. He's got 800 HP and 20 defense. And by the way, if you're wondering what the noise is in the background, we're watching the mouse singer. They're not as bad as the other guys. They do they do a bit less damage with a 50 damage bullet, but the confusing is for 3 seconds. So leave in the comments who you think is more annoying. Free confused or 60 damage. Now look at the Lego Spat. He's got 200 HP, 30 defense, which is actually kind of a lot, and 50 XP. And they also have a Chungus bullet that does 85 damage. Okay, so I'm going to leave out some enemies because I don't want this guide to be too long. So now we're going to talk about the Lair Vampires. Guys are hit pretty hard. They got a bullet that does 70 damage and a star that does 80 damage and slows you for 3 seconds. And if these guys actually are chasing you in a group, that can be very crucial. Now I got his counterpart, the Lair Vampire King. And can I just say he looks pretty cool. He's got a substantial 400 HP and 80 XP and no defense. It's got a star that does 70 damage and silences you for 3 seconds and an 80 damage bullet. And I noticed in the new realm, like I remember back in the older realm, everything that quiet, it was actually kind of hard to get, it was actually kind of rare to get silenced. Like everything quieted you, but I guess quiet was just a bit too much of a punishment, so they changed it to silence. And trust me, I'm on board with that. Now we got the Lair Reaper, and trust me, I think this guy's pretty cool. He's got a 400 damage, like a scythe that does 40 damage. But it's a speed of 8. It goes pretty fast. And here's the thing. He shoots like a machine gun, like... And I'm not talking about, like, high-tech terror laser fast. I'm just talking about, like, fast... Like, maybe if you have 60 decks, and maybe a maxed out wizard, a maxed dex wizard. Trust me, this guy shoots it pretty fast, and he kind of shoots it pretty. He doesn't really shoot it far though. You could just kill it 2 seconds. Now we're gonna do the 4th trap, the Lair Silence trap. Fortunately, when you step on this guy, he only does 50 instead of 100 damage. But he does silences you for 3 seconds. So if you're like a paladin or a priest or something, and like you want to heal straight away, it's not gonna be so bad. But if you have a legendary pet like me, then why not? Now we got the Lair White, the Specter, which sounds kind of racist. It's got a freaking 400 HP and no defense and 100 XP. And I think this might be the king of annoyingness. He's got a bullet that goes all the way up to 120 damage. Watch it shoots it kind of slow though. And he's got a grenade that does 90 damage, which is still a lot. And it confuses you for 2 seconds. Which is very annoying. Very annoying. Now I got the Lair Grey Specter. He's not as strong as his white counterpart, he only has 200 HP and 50 XP. And what's interesting about him is that he, of course, has a bullet that does a lot of damage, 80, but he also has a grenade that does 50 damage and it stuns you for 2 seconds, which can be very annoying. So, now right before we talk about Septavius, I want to talk about 2 things, and I think that might be just about harder than Septavius. We got the Dry Bones, and not the Dry Bones, the Dry Bowser of Realm of the Magua, the living skeleton. Trust me, he will kill anything in his path. Now he shoots these 3 rows of 95 damage piercing bullets, 2 lines in the bone. Think about it, 3 times 3, so it's basically this times 9. I'll do some calculations. Which means if you get hit by all this, you'll be taking around 855 damage. You have no defense. Think about how much. It's a lot of defense. So he's just gonna ruin your life. And guess what? He drops jack shit. Now let's talk about the last spectral skeleton, aka the treasure room. These 105 damage like bullets that like in a pattern, and there'll always be one opening. So if you can manage to get that opening, you're gonna win. And yeah, this is one of the big fan of this. She also drops a 90 damage grenade, which is just like the tip on the iceberg. Now, we got the Lord of Spirits, the King of Spectrals, and the Ruler of Scares, Septavius the Ghost God. He's got 12,000 HP, and he'll kind of like get more every player in the dungeon. Let me explain his phases. What his first phase is that he's just in the vulnerable in the middle, shooting all his bullets, all his 75 ignoring bullets around. And during that time, we have to kill all 9 of these guys. Then after that, he's gonna shoot out those chunkier bullets and those 60 damage bullets, and just keep on shooting them kind of in the same pattern. And once he takes a bit of damage, he'll shoot more white bullets. And he'll also shoot the black. He'll shoot in some kind of north and south pattern of the black bullets, which will be pretty scary and annoying. And then these white bullets will kind of go in a circular pattern if he doesn't do the black bullet phase. And then after that, a bunch of these ghost guys will spawn again, and you have to kill all of them. And then once they're dead, he's just going to be in the middle shooting out his black arrows and some other shots until he's dead. So now this is the fun part, talking about the loot and drops. Septavius can drop his mark, which he can which if you collect a few of them, you can get a chest or use it with some other marks. Him and the treasure room both can also drop a wisdom and a wine cell incantation, which you can sell for fear, power, and life. They can both drop the staff and the robe from the necro set. And trust me, do you know what doesn't make sense? I like doing undead layers a lot. And I got 3 of those robes and those staffs. It's kind of annoying. Also, they both drop the white bag of the dungeon, the doom bow. And also, Septavius can drop, like, the staff pet skin. By the way, I have it. I'm just never using it. I like my silver sky pin. And let's talk about some other drops. They can even drop this pretty cool doom bow recolor. They can also drop the spooky egg. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. Happy Easter to you all. Yeah, isn't it Easter time? Yeah, it's Easter time. Yeah. Well, happy Easter. I know, what? You know what? Tomorrow might actually, I might release an Easter video. Like an Easter dungeon guide. Yeah, I'm gonna find like an Eastery dungeon. So, hope you enjoyed. Please smash a like, and if you're a nerd, get out of here.